immediately pause and organize a few things. First, I will upgrade some techs. I'm going to upgrade engineering 2 times. This gives us cloaking capabilities for all our engineers. And we will, in almost any game, pick up 2 levels of engineering anyway. So I don't really see a reason not to take it just at the very beginning to get things started. I also will pick up 2 levels in force fields. And I will make the Aesthetic Factory Mark IV. This way we can start with a good bit of speed and build up our forces, although we will not need them for the first planet, I imagine. Now, we can see a couple more worlds out there, but let's go to the actual fleet setup. I would like to make this fleet number 1. I would like to get the support factory to fleet group 5, and the battle stations can go to number 7. Then I will go to my personal settings and turn off all the auto building that we have here. Because right now we need the metal to build our fleets, not to build defenses just yet. What else should we take? Oh yeah, we can build a couple of energy to matter converters. What these do is they convert a good amount of energy into metal. I'm also going to start the engineers here, and everything else is fine for the moment. Let us go for group number 8. Oh, I accidentally set that one to 7. Make it 8. And start looking at our first AI planet. We are definitely going to take this. It has a fleet with a couple of ships. Yeah, this is good ships. It's Hydra and Parasite ships. And then we also have a turret schematic server. Next planet over also has a fleet and an advanced research station, so I think I will take both of these planets. Let's take a look at what the enemy brings to bear. Oh, apparently we have some... One of the AI types must be, I believe, Ragnarok is the name, which is a very dangerous AI type because it can use Dark Spire and Dark Zenith stuff. And the other AI here, not sure what AI type this is, but there's a couple of anti-armor ships. Nothing too fancy though. So one AI may not be that hard and the other AI is basically brutal. So yeah, we are in for a good fight. Maybe we should focus on taking out the brown AI before we take out the red AI. But as for the first planet, we do not have a choice. Let's go here, pick group number 8 and start killing some things. Going to move them here and start on the first guard post. Oh, hang on. Before I forget, I also would like to get my tooltips to higher detail levels. And then we can see more details. So, then also I want to load this up and get it to, not through the wormhole, but to the wormhole, just not yet. Because I first want to build up a bit of a fleet. Same with the support factory. And then it's time to unpause for a moment. Oh, it seems that we've rolled sappers after all. That's nice. We also have a new entry here. Potential underlings found. Commander, we've picked up faint background activity broadcasting from an anomalous AI data center. On further inspection, we've detected a heavily encrypted message originating from, well, somewhere off the warp grid, as best as we can tell. Incredibly, someone figured out a way to corrupt the data center's transceiver, locking out the AI, accessing its external memory banks and hijacking the transmitter. We almost missed a second unencrypted message. It's a looped recording claiming that there is a decentralized resistance movement against the AI. If we can decrypt the primary message, we will learn the hailing frequencies of these outguards, as we've internally labeled them. This outguard beacon can access only a couple of outguard frequencies, but we believe more of these beacons are hiding in plain sight. If we are able to successfully open a hailing channel, these outguard will be powerful allies that we can call in desperation. The AIs will certainly try to prevent this, and we should not attempt, and this should not be attempted without sufficient forces. We will be able to share some of our technology with these outguards, and they will be able to summon greater forces if we have compatible ships. Okay. However, they lack the manufacturing capabilities to produce high-mark ships as efficiently as our factories, so we can expect to see fewer ships as their mark increases. They will need time to regather their strength between summons, so we should be wary of calling them without need. As a personal note, it gives me hope to see signs of others fighting the machine menace. I'm sure they need us as much as we need them. So yeah, what Outguard are basically allies that you can call in. Now, I'm not sure why we are seeing this, because we have no Outguard beacon here. But yeah, we probably will have one somewhere near, I'm guessing. Okay, let's continue one more bit. Also, are you loading or what are you doing? Not entirely sure. Okay, now the engineers are coming. Oh no, those were drones. So I want the engineers sticking close to our factory here. Oh, and we also have our civilians here now. This way they can start building up our forces faster. Now, what tech group did they roll in? They rolled fusion tech. Or as it's now called, piercing. And we have a couple more journals. Lore the AI. After an 800-year civil war between humans fighting among the stars, we finally birthed a force that would end all human wars forever. Artificial intelligence. Quickly eclipsing the human power and taking control of most of their automated forces, the AI nearly wiped the human race from the face of the galaxy. Only scattered pockets of humans remain, hiding amidst the scattered wreckage from the Civil War and the AI-led extermination that followed. You are in command of the last substantial remaining human military force. It is so small that the AI is either unaware of it or just doesn't care. Potentially, coincidentally, something outside the galaxy seems to have distracted the AI far more than humans ever did. You must grow your forces, capturing and reactivating fleets from the old wars, but you must be careful not to grow so strong that the eye of the AI turns back towards you. Gain just enough power, capture just enough fleets, take back just enough planets that you can destroy the massive structures known as AI overlords, and end this new war before the AI is even fully aware it has begun. If you are too greedy, if you make yourself too threatening, if you let the AI realize you might be a true threat, expect us to lose everything. You must use discretion, avoid distraction and temptation, and wield your forces like a scalpel. Take risks, be bold, but don't try to be a conqueror. Go for the core. That's not as much true for this game as it would be for normal games, because we will inevitably have to build up substantial forces in order to defeat all the minor factions mulling about here. We have beacons. Beacons are a way to bring gameplay flexibility to the game lobby forward into the game itself. You can hack beacons to add additional factions to your gameplay. The goal is to allow players to dynamically update their game to the taste. Feel like you're losing? Add an ally. Want some more challenge? Add a new scary opponent. The use of beacons is optional, and they can be disabled in the game lobby. We're not seeing any beacons just yet, but this is the overview. And we have the Sapper Corps. Commander, the Sapper Corps is here to help. They build habitats, each supporting one sapper. Sappers will move around the galaxy, planting crystals. Once those crystals flower, they can be harvested for more resources. They will use these resources to build several types of units to help us. First, they will build some types of defense units, some types of typical defenses, turrets, tractors, etc. Second, they can build beachheaders. These structures will launch turrets to remote planets when we are fighting there. They can build watchtowers, which will launch temporary ships to defend nearby planets. Sapper allies have no downside. They are a pure buff to the player. So we probably should be thankful for that. Now, I think it's time for the fighting to actually begin. That was a lot to take in at the start. So, our fleet is here. we should destroy one of the converters to gain more energy so that we can build more ships, which are nearing completion, but that only looks like it because we will still have to build a lot of frigates, and they are very hard on metal and energy. So, first ships are getting destroyed by our battle station. Not sure why these guys aren't moving in closer. Now, there is a reason why I'm moving both battle stations in right now, and that reason is because they can slow down enemies, and they are slow stacks. These ships, unfortunately, are big enough so that they can't really be slowed by our battle stations, but as you can see, this ship here, the AI Huskar, has a speed debuff. Its speed is down to 25% because of gravity. Each of these stations have a 50% reduction for enemy speed, and that stacks multiplicatively. So 2 gravitic battle stations equals 0.5 to the power of 2, which means 0.25 speed. Units that are only in the gravity well range of one of them have 50% speed remaining. So when we move these ships to the wormhole that the enemy is trying to exit, then they will have to go there at a quarter of the speed that they would normally do once they enter the range of both of these. I'm also going to disable the movement, not the attack move, the pursuit mode. Because I don't want them to pursue, I want them to stay here and kill as many of these ships as they can, even though it's not that substantial right now. So, what's our fleet doing? Our fleet is almost full. We should destroy one more of these to gain the rest of our ships. 2 more translocator sniper frigates. And while this battle is going, let's take a look at the ships we are starting with. We have the tugboat transport. The tugboat transport adds a speed minimum to all ships that are in this fleet, and all ships that can be boosted. So what this means is that the tugboat drones here, they have a fleet bonus for as many as 100 ship lines to boost the speed to be at least its own speed, which is 700. So as long as we slot a ship in here that can be boosted, this ship, no matter what its speed was originally, will never be slower than 700. The translocating sniper frigates don't benefit from this. They are 700 at base as well. They are infinite range weapons. They are a variant from the Tritium sniper frigate, and they still have a damage bonus, but it's far less potent. Their damage comes from being further away. When they are further away, they do more damage, and this starts at about 15,000 units of range. They also push enemies back. They can push even guardians with their power. This is especially powerful when they are combined, because then they can push the same target further and further and further back. The Tarantula are from vanilla. They are slowing down enemies with sufficiently low engine power. They don't do that much else, but they are a good support ship when you want enemies not to move anymore. Zappas are also from vanilla. These are AoE ships. They explode basically in a Tesla explosion and they deal great damage. They are also very good at taking damage because they have a lot of health. Tarantulas also. But the Zappas are some of the more tanky strike craft there are. They do a lot of damage, but only if they have sufficient targets. And then the Obstructor wings, those are from extended ship variants, as by the way is the translocating sniper frigate. They have gravity cannons similar to the V-wings, but they also do they increase the damage if the enemy is slow. So as you can see, this kind of synergizes. The snipers are staying out of range and doing good damage to enemies that are very heavy and often have higher engine power that can't really be slowed. By the way, let's get our fleet in here and unload. The Tarantulas are slowing enemies down so that the Zappas, which are speed boosted, the Tarantulas and the Obstructor wings are not speed boosted, but the Zappas are speed boosted by the 700 base speed, so that these ships can get in range and hurt the enemy badly. And these ships are also good against structures, because structures technically are very slow. And they also go for really good kills on low engine power ships. So this is a synergetic fleet that we can use to really decimate our enemies.